Well, it's time for another edition of Litter Media Live on Facebook Live. I'm Dan Ramey with the icon, Ethel Merman.
No business like show business.
He was testing his vocal cords out just moments ago, and all I could think of was Ethel Merman.
Ethel Merman. Yeah.
I've got a feeling.
Oh, golly.
Welcome to the program. And sometimes it turns into a variety show. We will be talking about a variety of things coming your way here momentarily. So stick with us for that. But first, as we always do on the start of our program, we take a look at how the weather is shaping up. And it got our attention over the weekend, and it's sticking with us for a while.
Make your cold sound. Yeah. Cold weather is going to be with us through a good part of this week. Continued cool today, cloudy skies with a high of 50. Now, they've issued a freeze watch for tonight. Temperatures could drop as low as 30. In fact, I heard them on the weather this morning saying that you probably, like if you have your garden hose hooked up outside, you probably ought to unhook it.
So you don't bust that pipe.
Exactly. So if they're talking about it being that cold, they're also talking about damage to delicate plants and things of that nature. Now, partly sunny and a little warmer tomorrow with a high up around 58.
But not much warmer.
But yeah.
I forgot to turn the thermostat to heat before leaving for the weekend. And when I walked in to the offices this morning, it was cold.
You know, it's lawn mowing time. We're mowing our grass now. I don't know how much effect a freeze like that has on, stunning the growth of grass.
Your grass is pretty hardy. I think you're okay.
I don't want to damage it, if it's going to get burned by the frost or anything like that.
It makes it through the winter.
I'm trying to make excuses for not mowing today. Can you tell?
Check with your neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mr. Mays, are you mowing today?
They always seem to mow every day.
Yeah.
I recall my Uncle Joe, God rest his soul, when he retired and moved down to Florida, this retirement community that they were in was filled with park model campers, basically, is what they were, but they were homes. And so that's where they all lived. And he said to me, he says, you know what? Ever since I moved down here, I mow grass every day.
Oh, my. Wow.
And I like to mow grass. I don't know if I'd like to mow grass every day.
That doesn't sound like retirement at all. Yeah.
No, it's not. And his post-retirement life, he died at, 94? So he got to enjoy 30 years of mowing grass down in Florida. All right, coming up, we'll look at the news topics of the day. We'll also take a look at sports. We'll try to avoid talking about the Reds, and we'll get you caught up to date on this date in history as well. So stick close as we continue with Litter Media Live, brought to you in part by Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you have issues with your heating, your cooling, or your plumbing, give them a call. Or, better yet, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. You'll find all of their contact information and even the territory that they service. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a six-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
Saginaw Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. If you've got a cleanup job at your home, your business, they can provide a dumpster for you. Just give them a call. Reach out to Carl, and Carl will say, we'll be there. 740-253-8389. It is time to take a look at news, and we're going to start where today?
Let's go to science.
Science.
All about the science, you know.
She blinded me with science.
Yeah. The District 12 Science Day saw some winning entries from students in our area. Held at Heritage Hall on the Ohio University Athens campus, the university hosted 11 schools from a 7-county district. There were 95 students in attendance from 5th grade through grade 12, representing 81 student projects. Now, AEP Foundation's Environmental Science Award winners included, this is Hannah Austin, a 7th grader from Athens Middle School, Easton White, a 5th grader from Unioto Elementary, and Anna Helber and Autumn Vick, both 6th graders from Zane Trace Middle School. So congratulations to all of those young'uns. The need to remove a colony of bats at the Pike Heritage Museum has led to its closure until this project can be completed. Ironically, this comes in the 40th anniversary of the museum opening at 110 South Market Street in Waverly. The Pike Heritage Foundation, founded in 1983, operates Pike County's only museum dedicated to the preservation of local history. Sole purpose of the museum's closure is to ensure the safety of volunteers and visitors. Once the bat nuisance is abated, the facility will be professionally cleaned and the capital projects recommenced. Now, estimates to alleviate the issue are about $25,000, so they need some donations to help out with this. The foundation is funded by memberships, fundraisers, and donations. So if you can help out with that, that will get the museum back open as soon as possible. They were doing some maintenance renovation anyway, and it was in that process that they found the bats.
Where is Bruce Wayne and the Bruce Wayne Foundation contributing to the Bats in the Belfry Fund?
Exactly, and that's where they were. They were in the bell tower at the museum. So if you can contribute to that, and they already had money for a lot of the renovation, but this was an unforeseen expense, so help out if you can. State Representative Mark Johnson of Chillicothe has announced that his amendment to House Bill 33 proposes to establish a $1,000 annual state income tax credit for Ohio's volunteer first responders, and that'll be included in the substitute version of the bill. House Bill 33 is the state's operating budget bill for fiscal years 24 and 25, currently pending in the Ohio House Finance Committee. Chillicothe Mayor Luke Feeney accepted the donation of 27 Wade Street from former Councilwoman Pat Patrick. This property will be used for a new 6th Ward Park. After nearly 600 people voted for the favorite playground, the city is announcing the winning playground is Option A. Now, we had stories on this probably 2 or 3 months ago. There was a online vote where people could pick what playground option, and again, they take Option A.
I like Option A. It looks nice.
Yes, indeed. So another park joining the city recreation department. The Amanda Clear Creek Board of Education has okayed the district's master facility plan, which helps the district maintain property and funds while accommodating the growth the district has experienced and anticipates in the future. Now, that's Superintendent Tim Edwards. He has a quote in our website story that you can find at littermedia.com. Ross County Health District's Let's Talk Recovery event this week, along with some other community events. And this is my daughter, Sarah, who is the one of the communication specialists at the health district, talking about the program that's coming up later this week, as well as some other programs. The end of the interview was an opportunity that she's been waiting for many years. She got to correct Dad, and Uncle Dan thought that was funny.
I did, because we finally got it documented. So.
That Mike does make mistakes, but stick with the whole interview. You'll see it at the end, and it'll be worth the wait. So congratulations to Sarah for correcting her dad on live TV. Pike State Forest and Blue Rock State Forest were the settings of 2 recent special hunts organized for hunters with disabilities to enjoy the outdoors while hunting for wild turkey. The 2 parks, of course, included, as we mentioned, Pike State Forest, as well as over at Muskingum. Now, the one in Pike Forest they call the Thunder in the Hills Wild Turkey Hunt. It's the 6th year for that event at Pike State Forest, and 15 hunters participated, with 2 turkeys actually being harvested during that hunt.
A lot of turkeys down our way.
A lot of wild turkey, yes, sir. including one on
Morgan's Fork Road.
This is Ohio State Parks Week, inviting everyone to get outside and enjoy one of Ohio's 75 state parks. Now, construction is currently underway for Ohio's 76th state park near Xenia. That's a story that we told you about last fall. In fact, ground has already been broken on the Great Council State Park. That's going to have a theme that involves the Indian chief Tecumseh, because that's kind of where he hung out in his day, so to speak, with the Shawnee tribes. And this is also being put together with the help of 3 federally recognized Shawnee tribes and the Ohio History Connection.
Did you happen to see the footage of, I can't remember, I think it was Channel 4. They were showing a groundbreaking, and one of the children who had the shovel had picked up the dirt and threw it over his shoulder, and it went into the face of one of the guys who was standing there.
No, I missed that. I hope it wasn't the governor or the mayor or somebody like that.
No, it wasn't, but he certainly got dirt on his face.
Yeah, so that's State Parks Week. Go out and enjoy a state park near you.
Just be careful of the shovels.
That's absolutely right. Now, the Ohio Department of Transportation road report for today: work to resurface sections of State Route 104, State Route 220, and State Route 551 in Pike County. 104 is between State Route 32 and the village of Waverly. Route 220 is between State Route 772 and the village of Waverly. And State Route 551 work is being done between 104 and State Route 220. And that work will be going through this summer.
And we want to take a moment. Last Thursday, and we forgot to mention this on Friday's show, but the passing of John Fawson. John, former Chillicothe City Councilman, longtime City Council clerk, passed away on Thursday. And he was the father of Build Chillicothe on Facebook. And I have known a lot of people in Chillicothe over the years, and I don't know anyone that loved it as much as John Fawson did. This is a fair city, huge loss in that respect, I think, for a lot of folks, but thoughts to go out to his wife, Chris, and his daughter, Mariana, and the rest of the family as well.
I saw that someone posted that John was originally from Pike County?
No, from Ashland, Kentucky.
Ashland, Kentucky.
Yeah, in this interview that I did with him a few years back, he talked about the idea for Build Chillicothe came from Build Ashland, Ashland, Kentucky, and he said that's where he was from. Okay. And so yeah, we'll miss that guy because he did a lot of. He's had an extended illness here of late, and so our thoughts are certainly with the family.
Very good.
Also, last Thursday, this event, the Impossible Auction, took place. I caught up with Sherry. And I said, so how'd it go? Because when I drove by on my way home, the parking lot, this was 20 minutes before the event started, the parking lot was more than 75% full. So, and she said they raised $11,000 for Foothold International. And I will tell you that, and Sherry Catron is the name that, her last name, I usually call her by her maiden name. So, but this QR code, if you're watching the program either live or watching it after it's live, you'll be able to scan that, and it should still take you to their event page. They're keeping the live auction online going through the end of April. So you still have time to help out with the mission that is based here in Chillicothe, Foothold International, and help them out.
Very good.
This program is brought to you in part by Pickaway Ross CTC. And you came across something they have at Adult Education.
Yes, they have an opportunity to earn a CPR certification at the Adult Education Department. Next CPR class will be held on May the 20th. So, like Dan just talked about the other story with the QR, if you're watching this, you can hold your smartphone right over that code up on your screen, and it'll take you to the site. Or you can call 740-642-1284 to get more information about this basic CPR class coming up. It'll be May 20th from 1 to 5 p.m.
And if you want to know more about Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center and their adult education program, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It will take you right to their website for Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. Coming up, a look at sports next.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
This is Big Chillicothe. Horizon's 100% fiber internet service is coming to your area. Call 740-772-8331 or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
Time for sports, and we've got some high school news and notes to share.
Yeah, the state softball coaches poll came out today, and some local teams again showing up. Division I Tays Valley ranked number 7. We've been talking a lot about Athens. They are tough, undefeated, 16-0, Division II number 1 team in the state. Unioto dropped from number 2 down to number 4, even though they didn't lose. Division III, Wheelersburg, defending state champs, also undefeated. They're ranked number 1. They just knocked off their SOC rival Portsmouth West on Friday, but West still ranks at number 4 in the state. And in Division IV, Portsmouth Notre Dame comes in at number 7. Another quick high school note, the Huntington Track and Field Invitational is tonight. And once those final results go hot, we will get that up on our website at littermedia.com later this evening. It's getting tough sledding for the Cleveland Cavaliers in their NBA final best 4 out of 7. They now trail the Knicks 3-1, losing yesterday 102-93. If the Knicks win just one more, the Cavs season will come to a close. In baseball, the Reds, tough weekend. The Buccos, the Pittsburgh Pirates, a winner yesterday, 2-0. And the Guardians was the high spot for the Ohio teams. They were a winner over Miami by a score of 7-4.
And tonight, the Reds will welcome the Rangers to town. Maybe they'll be able to snap that 7-game losing streak. And the Cleveland Guardians will host the Colorado Rockies. See how that goes.
Go Reds.
Reds have lost now 7 games by 1 run. And to further enhance that, you saw the score of yesterday's loss, 2-0.
You got to have some production, and it's just like a combination of things. When they get the runs, they're not getting the pitching, and then vice versa.
I was watching Moneyball last night, and the whole deal, what they were talking about in the scouting, we got to get guys on base. I don't care how they get they got to get on base. And, they ended up winning 20 straight games.
Which is a major league record. That's based on a true story.
Can you imagine? The Reds have this stretch of 21 games. If they would have gotten on base more, got him over. And during Moneyball, I never paid attention to this. In the opening, you hear this is the Yankees, and, it's Tom Brenneman. Marty is on later during the streak because the Reds had played.
Or that was the A's beat them.
The Reds were playing the
A's.
Yeah.
Right.
And but in the opener of it, it's all Tom Brenneman. And even with the radio that Brad Pitt throws, it's still Tom Brenneman. And I'm like, how can that be? Because it was Fox TV. So, and I thought it was funny because he throws it out the window. Then he sits there, stews for a bit, gets out, walks over, and stomps the radio.
Good movie if you haven't had a chance to see it.
Yeah, really is good. All right, coming up in just a bit, we'll get you caught up to date on this date in history. The Letter Media Wayback Machine goes to
1953. And we're talking about knighthood.
knighthood.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with Meghan Markle. So don't tune out. She was in the news again today. You know.
Yes. McDonald's. Stop in at McDonald's. You'll get a strawberry and cream pie if you ask for one.
Just by asking?
Just by saying,
I don't have to pay anything?
Say,
They'd appreciate that.
they do appreciate you paying for the order that
Gotcha.
you get. So, although I think they still have their free fries Friday promotion, but you have to use the mobile app to get
Gotcha.
that. So, all right. So when you stop in at McDonald's, you can get some great food, no doubt, whether it's be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But also, you can work at McDonald's. They're always looking for McDonald's crew members. And if you're looking for work, stop in at McDonald's in Circleville, in Greenfield, in Waverly, and 4 locations here in Chillicothe. For McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
This date in history on the way next.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Thank you, Andy. Time now for this date in history with Mr. History, Mike Smith.
Winston Churchill, the British leader who guided Great Britain through their darkest days of World War II, is knighted by Queen Elizabeth II on this date in 1953.
Never surrender.
Yes, sir.
Never.
In the first year of his administration, Britain stood alone against Nazi Germany, but Churchill promised his country and the world that the British people would never, never surrender. But in July of 1945, 10 weeks after Germany's defeat, his conservative government suffered an electoral loss against Clement Attlee's Labour Party, and Churchill resigned as prime minister. He became leader of the opposition, and in 1951 was again elected prime minister. In 1955, he retired as prime minister, but remained in Parliament until 1964, the year before he passed away. Sir Winston Churchill, knighted on this date in 1953. As I was putting this together, I was recalling a funny story about Sir Winston.
Is this him in the elevator?
Yes. Winston Churchill was known for imbibing in alcoholic beverages. And
He wasn't a teetotaler?
No.
Okay.
From time to time, he maybe had a little bit too much. And he comes out of his hotel elevator, and this older lady says to him, "Mr. Churchill, you're drunk again." And Churchill responds, "Yes, my lady, I am. But tomorrow I'll be sober, but you will still be ugly." What a comeback line, huh?
Rex Bullock was the first person I heard talk about that. Rex is an evangelist, and I was at Lockbourne 3CU, so this is like 1993 or so, and he tells that story from the pulpit, and I thought to myself, what a great way to warm over the crowd.
Oh, you know? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, golly.
And I want to say that wasn't the woman involved in government or something at the time?
That part I don't know.
I think that was the way he told it.
Yeah, that part I don't know.
In the morning, I'll be sober. So we were discussing just a moment ago. By the way, tomorrow we're going to try and do this show on the road because we have a meeting with the mayor of Circleville and with his staff as well, we understand. So we'll be meeting with them, and we've gotten permission to do the show from there.
Right.
So I've got a few things to take care of on the equipment side to make that happen. But that brought back to the fact that we were on the road another time during our radio careers. I think Sarah was, 7, 8?
She wasn't very old, yeah.
And Dan Jr. was about 10, 11. And we went to SeaWorld and broadcast our morning show from SeaWorld.
I don't know what was, other than Shamu, what was going on that was special that we went up there to broadcast.
I don't recall. I know it was, seemed like it was in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Could have been, yeah. Could have been.
No, because the kids would have had to miss school. And I don't think they
Well,
missed
unless
school.
this was an educational trip.
It was educational, no question there. Because Dan Jr. and I, and we remember the story a little bit differently, unless you had 2 different episodes. But the way I remember it, we were walking through. We had time before the show began, so it's like 5:45, and we were taking the air at 6:05. And we're walking through where they're feeding the dolphins, and one of the dolphins swims over and has this rock in its mouth, and it's throwing this rock at us. And I remember picking the rock up and throwing it back to the dolphin, and I heard them say, "Hey!"
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell your side of the story.
Yeah, this was like after a public viewing. So I don't know whether, because I think you guys went to a different location.
Yeah, we went on to Cedar Point afterwards.
So I think Laura and Sarah and I were watching a show with the killer whale. But then after, the show was over, everybody was, getting down out of the stands and walking by the big pool where Shamu is. And I think I just dipped my hand in the water and somebody yelled, "Get your hand out of the water." I don't know whether they were afraid Shamu was going to take me out or what. But
it wasn't so much for your protection as it was the protection from them getting a lawsuit.
Well, probably, yeah. And there have been stories of the killer whales grabbing on the trainers and dragging them under and so forth. So. But I don't even think they have that anymore.
Well, they shut SeaWorld Aurora down, and I don't know if it's still open in Florida. Or
I saw on national news here last week that whatever park has this killer whale, they're trying to train it how to manage on its own, and then they're going to take it out into the ocean and turn it loose. So I don't know how this. I think it's late in life for it, so they're going to send it out to enjoy the waves on its own.
So it's out in the wild, huh?
yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, never mind. But so that's what's going on there. So we may be on a little bit earlier tomorrow because we're doing our Pickaway County Special Edition for Wednesday. We're recording it with Mayor Don McElroy, who's in his last term in office. Don's been the mayor in Circleville for 12 years. That'll play back on Wednesday, but we'll do this show live probably around 10 o'clock. They'll probably want to get us out of there so they can go to lunch or whatever. But
security, get these clowns out of here, would you?
So look for that a little bit earlier tomorrow.
And we may take a little tour of Circleville before we leave.
Yes.
It's
got to involve lunch somewhere.
Unless the Circleville Police Department says, "Yes, Mr. Mayor, we'll put them in a special room.
Escort them out of town." Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. All right. So until tomorrow, we'll see you hopefully from around town. Thank you for watching Litter Media Live.